He's gonna take off once again. Tom Cruise is shooting Top Gun 3. Meanwhile, things are looking rather bad for Fast and Furious 11 and Star Wars 10. Get all this information and much more now in this week's KinoCheck news. There's an update on the galaxy far, far away. Rey actress Daisy Ridley commented on the future of Star Wars 10 in an interview after there was some confusion regarding the schedule of the new films. There's a lot going on in the Star Wars universe at the moment. Only recently it was announced that a Mandalorian movie will indeed be made, bringing the franchise back to the big screen. Originally, this was intended for Star Wars 10, but the movie about Rey Skywalker has been pushed back for the time being following the announcement of the Mando movie. Previously, the film was expected to be released in late 2025 to mid-2026. Meanwhile, a new rumor from insider Daniel RPK is bound to cause some confusion. According to the rumor, filming on Episode 10 is set to begin in May as planned. This is also interesting because, according to the World of Real, the project is currently on hold. This is probably due to creative differences between Disney and screenwriter Stephen Knight. The studio had so many requests for changes to his draft that he basically had to start from scratch. It is currently unclear whether he will remain on the project or turn his attention to the upcoming Peaky Blinders movie instead. He would not be the first writer to drop out of Star Wars 10. Watchmen writer Damon Lindelof and Justin Britt Gibson had also previously left the project ahead of time. The movie was also commented on by Daisy Ridley. In an interview with Allocine, the actress revealed that Star Wars 10 is set to take a completely different direction. What exactly that means remains to be seen. All we know so far is that Part 10 will be set 15 years after the events of Star Wars 9, and will also focus on Rey establishing a new Jedi Order. Hence the frequently reported title, Star Wars New Jedi Order. Charmin Obaid-Chinoy, who previously directed Ms. Marvel for Disney, remains the director. Recently, there was controversy over an 8-year-old clip of a panel discussion with her in which she said she liked to make men feel uncomfortable. At the time, Obaid-Chinoy became known for her documentaries about the violent oppression of women in Pakistan, for which she won 2 Oscars. Critics consider her activist background to be incompatible with an entertainment project like Star Wars. Sonic fans are sure to get their money's worth in the coming years. In addition to the 3rd installment of the main film series and the spin-off Knuckles, Sonic's antagonist Shadow the Hedgehog is also set to receive his own project. The iconic blue hedgehog will be racing across the big screen again at the end of this year in Sonic the Hedgehog 3. In his newest adventure, he will then meet Shadow the Hedgehog, who was already announced in the mid-credits scene of the predecessor. Shadow is probably one of the most popular characters in the Sonic universe, and was first introduced in the video game Sonic Adventure 2. The character originated from the Shadow Project, which was carried out around 50 years before the events of Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Although Shadow often shows an arrogant attitude, he also has a more vulnerable side, which he only reveals to a few. The introduction of the character could be the first hint that Paramount Pictures is seemingly pursuing bigger plans. These suspicions also match the statement by Hollywood insider Daniel Rickman. Rickman revealed on his Patreon account that Paramount is apparently working on an independent spin-off project for the character. Whether this is a movie or a series remains unclear. Although there has been no official confirmation from Paramount so far, fans can look forward to some content either way. In addition to Sonic 3, a Knuckles series is also waiting in the wings. Well then, nothing stands in the way of the Sonic cinematic universe. Action fans, listen up. Top Gun is getting another installment with Tom Cruise. The immense success of the sequel, Top Gun Maverick, released in 2022, was probably not expected by many. The action spectacle grossed about $1.5 billion worldwide and was also nominated for a total of 6 Oscars. The movie was then awarded in the Best Sound category. Although the sequel was very popular, there was no talk of a possible third part for a long time. But that has changed. As Deadline reports, Top Gun 3 is actually in the works at Paramount Pictures. Tom Cruise, aka Captain Pete Maverick Mitchell, will of course be returning, as will Miles Teller and Glenn Powell. There's no news about the return of Jennifer Connelly and Jon Hamm yet. Based on initial information, Joseph Kosinski is to take over as director again. Kosinski is currently also working on a Formula One film called Apex, starring Brad Pitt and Javier Bardem. A release date for Top Gun 3 has not been announced so far. According to rumors, however, it could be the next project for Tom Cruise after Mission Impossible 8, which is currently still being filmed. We'll keep you up to date, as always. Attention sports and movie fans. the 58th Super Bowl is just around the corner. In addition to the sports spectacle, movie fans can also look forward to all kinds of trailers and teasers that'll be shown over the course of the event. The Super Bowl is considered the world's biggest single sport event and regularly breaks records. Last year alone, over 1 billion people watched the game between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles. So it's no wonder that the film industry also wants to benefit from these immense numbers. The commercial breaks during the Super Bowl are famous for their high-profile trailers and teasers, which often generate excitement for months in advance. Last year, for example, we were treated to sneak peeks of The Flash, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, and Guardians of the Galaxy 3. 2024 is likely to be even more exciting. According to The Hollywood Handle, we can expect another thrilling lineup of movies this year. A first teaser for Deadpool 3 is reportedly coming, for example. The sequel, starring Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, is set to be released in cinemas on July 26th, so the timing would be perfect. In addition to Deadpool 3, the first trailer for the prequel, A Quiet Place Day 1, is also likely to generate excitement. The movie, starring Oscar winner Lupita Nyong'o, will deal with the alien invasion and the collapse of civilization. New footage for Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, Godzilla x Kong The New Empire, and Inside Out 2 are also in the pipeline. We can moreover look forward to Despicable Me 4 as well as the news from the next Garfield film. It should be mentioned that these films are only more or less plausible speculation for the time being. It remains to be seen which trailers will actually be presented to us in the end. The 58th Super Bowl will take place on February 11th. Of course, you'll find all the shown trailers here at KinoCheck as soon as they're available. There's an end in sight. According to Hollywood insider Jeff Snyder, Fast and Furious 11 will be the last installment in the action series. The film will also come with some changes, including budget cuts and a potential recasting of the antagonist. The Fast and Furious series was once one of Hollywood's biggest blockbusters. However, the franchise suffered a financial setback with Fast X, which prompted those responsible at Universal Pictures to reconsider their approach. Despite a reasonable worldwide box office result of $704 million, Part 10 continued the negative trend and even fell short of the earnings of its predecessor, Fast and Furious 9. According to Variety, Universal will still be able to make a profit, but in view of the production costs of over $340 million, this is likely to have been a small one. Universal is now apparently planning to take drastic measures to come out of the situation with a positive result. Hollywood insider Jeff Snyder reported that the budget for Fast and Furious 11 is to be significantly cut. This time, the limit will be $200 million. Although this is still a considerable sum, it is nonetheless a significant reduction compared to its predecessor. But there will also be some changes in terms of content. Fast and Furious 11 is allegedly planning a return to the origins of the series. Instead of global missions, the focus is now on one last big heist. We might even be able to look forward to the good old quarter-mile races again. As things stand at the moment, it can be assumed that the cast of Vin Diesel, Michelle Rodriguez, Tyrese Gibson, and Jason Statham will return. However, Universal seems to be considering dropping Jason Momoa from the film and introducing a completely new villain. Momoa, meanwhile, could meet Dwayne Johnson's Luke Hobbs in an already confirmed spin-off project. The two seem to have unfinished business anyway. Playing the horror hit Until Dawn in 2015 felt like a best-of its creepy cinematic predecessors. And now, we have come full circle. The Hollywood Reporter reveals that the game is now to be made into a movie. In charge are well-known people with experience in this genre. Director David S. Sandberg is leading the project. He most recently directed the 2 Shazam films. However, he made his breakthrough with the horror short film Lights Out, which was then followed by a movie adaptation and the horror sequel Annabelle 2. The final script for the Until Dawn film comes from Gary Dauberman, who is behind successful films such as It as well as Annabelle. It's being based on a version by Blair Butler, who last wrote Sony's vampire film The Invitation. Until Dawn is about 8 friends in a secluded mountain lodge who experience a night of horror involving a mysterious killer, dangerous monsters, and a creepy mind. It is not known exactly how the movie adaptation will follow the original game. However, it is being described as an R-rated love letter to the horror genre, focusing primarily on the ensemble cast. While the cast has yet to be announced, the original already featured well-known stars such as Hayden Panettiere and Rami Malek. And that's it for this week's KinoCheck news. If you're looking to increase your anticipation for some upcoming releases, make sure to check out our newest trailer for the second season of the Halo series. If you like it more spooky instead, you might enjoy the trailer for Abigail. Take a look and let us know what you think of the latest news in the comments. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.